We got everyone. Happy New Year to you all. One of my New Year's resolutions was to be on time and be prompt. I've broken that already. I'm still late getting on here. We all make these stupid New Year's resolutions, don't we? Never stick with them. So I've broken that one already. But I won't go into my other ones just yet, my other New Year's resolutions, because I don't want to break them either. So I'll just crack on with the show, and welcome to my New Year's Day, as it turns out to be football weekend debate show at the last weekend of last year, which didn't seem long ago, did it? But we're into another new year already. And it's all gone so quick yet again. But obviously, we've got a lot to discuss, and I will bring my guests on very soon. But also, I just want to say before I bring you all on, can we make this be fair and give everyone a turn and a comment, and to give their comments and opinions, and don't interrupt people, please, because I feel it's important to to let people talk and say what they want. And obviously, you can maybe add something after they've finished or something, and then I'll go on to the next person, obviously. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on my guests. First of all, we've got a guy called Manny Fangadurai. I hope I've said that all right again, Manny, your surname. But he's a fantastic man. He's got he supports the Gunners. I don't know why, because they are pretty poor. Let's put it that way. As we know, well, the manager is. Let's put it that way. Maybe the team isn't quite so bad if they had a decent manager. But anyway, he goes on plenty of streams, like a co-host of many channels, Hanno and others, RS and all that. So I'll bring him in and find out how he is, and if he's not feeling too worse for wear, like some of us might be after the New Year's celebration. So I'll bring him in. Right,
yeah, big up to you. And to answer your question, Mr. B, I'm not really the worse for wear, because this time around the celebrations have been a bit muted, really. Yeah. Because let's not forget, yesterday, of course, New Year's Eve, I spent most of it watching that absolute debacle over at Craven Cottage, and I think if you check my Twitter, I had the right quote for that. A performance like that really puts the Craven in Craven Cottage. What an absolute shambles that was.
Yeah, I watched it on Dale Boys, wasn't it? Dale Boys show. Yeah.
You were in the chat, and I'm really glad you were able to contribute. It was, of course, his first time coming back, and he couldn't let too many people on, mainly Arsenal fans who wanted to come on and have their say. So
great to see him back, by the way. Great to see him back, isn't it, Dale?
Yeah, always good to see him back. He's just been busy with a few things, but he is one of the more loved people on YouTube, and I know that he just doesn't have too many haters. And I was there on a stream with him. I went on Northside stream, and then by the time I got done, it was about close to midnight my time, so no going out. And of course, today went to a relative's place, had a meal, then went to a shopping mall for a bit of a loaf around, did a little bit of shopping, then came back. And today, of course, I've taken the break from the gym because I knew you had your stream and you invited me on. So here I am.
Well, cheers, mate. I'm sorry to put you out with that. I'm sure you like to go to the gym.
But, mate, listen. I'll tell you why. Because yesterday, normally on a Sunday, it's my rest day. But I kind of figured that New Year's should be a time to, relax and reflect on a few things. And going there probably wouldn't have been the best thing to do. Besides, by the time I got home, it was a bit late. And it would have taken me a bit of time to sort of get my kit ready and just head over there. I probably would have had about a 1 hour session, and then that would have been it. But, from tomorrow, it'll be back to life, back to reality, as that famous song goes, as it were. As for back to life, back to reality, Arsenal have definitely come back to the reality that they are nowhere near as good as they believe they are, and their fans believe they are. And the same can definitely be said about the manager, but I don't want to talk too much about that. I hope your New Year was good. I heard you were enjoying the Hootenanny on the telly, eh?
Sorry, mate. What was that again?
I heard you were enjoying the Hootenanny on the telly yesterday.
Oh, Hootenanny, yeah. I was watching that. I was watching the Wick Astley thing on BBC One to start with at London, and then I watched that. So, never gonna give you up. I was getting into that, man. Listening to all that, and
Yeah. 36 years, and the guy still knows how to, really get it moving.
He's still got the quiff and everything. Still got the quiff and everything. Plays on the instrument. I've seen him live 3 times, so he's brilliant. Brilliant. And,
if you ever got the chance to go to Glastonbury to see BBC Radio 2 live, you'd see a lot of these stars from the 80s coming out to perform, and they sound, if anything, a little bit better. I mean, I'm surprised that Bananarama, now that they're a duet instead of a threesome, are still able to rock to their old hits, but they actually harmonise a lot better now if you listen to them carefully.
Yeah, well, I've seen them as well. I've seen them when they were a threesome again. I went to actually see them, and I actually met them as well. So, got very excited when I was with them.
I'm avoiding swearing on your channel just for you. Last thing I want to see
when I was with them, by the way, you could see me in the photo beaming, and like that, very happy.
I need to see those photos. Yeah, make sure you send them to me whenever you get time. Yeah.
I think I'll put them on Facebook or something, but I'll try and send them to you and all that, so you can check them out.
Awesome.
But anyway, got to carry on, mate, and we got to get obviously other guests on. I did see Stephen in here, but he seems to have disappeared for some reason. He was supposed to be coming on. But anyway, I'll bring another guest on. His first time actually on the channel and in the stream. So it's Joe. Great bloke again. Nice to see you, Joe.
Hello, Joe. Happy New Year to you.
All guys, good to you. Nice to see you. First time on the channel.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I was going to say Chelsea and what's your other team? Ipswich.
Ipswich. Yeah.
Man, so.
What can I? Well, where do you want to start? Should we talk about Brentford, Arsenal, Chelsea? How we were lucky against Luton? And I know Stephen will say the same thing.
Well, I've got a few subjects I want to cover, Joe, but obviously we're going to go through them in a little while. Just read a few comments and then we'll get onto it, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Far away.
But I'm going to mention this again, the prostate cancer, because it's very important to me. My dad has it, but it's controlled, and thankfully, and thank God he's still here. He's 80 years old yesterday, my dad. So,
did he have a good birthday, by the way?
Yeah. We all went out and had a meal and stuff, and it was all good, So really enjoyed it. But everyone, please click on this link, prostatecanceruk.org, and just follow the instructions there and get yourself tested and donate and everything what you can. I know it's another new year, but let's try and start as we ended the last year and keep going, and and get more money towards this great, foundation, this great charity that funding towards the research for it all. So,
if you want to start your New Year's resolution right, then do something there. Unlike Stephen's timing on the schedule.
Yeah.
But listen, if I could just say something very briefly, if I could just say something very briefly, listen, it is New Year's Day for what it's worth. So you make your resolutions and just understand that it will take some time to actually sort of get into that groove. But once you get into the groove, there's no stopping. So don't worry about it. You did tell me that. You did tell me that it was 4:15, 4:20, 5 minutes is not so bad. So as long as you inform us, you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. I'm just doing my impression of Lee Gunner.
It's not gone yet. It's still there. It's still by a thread.
If Lee Gunner can do it, so can I.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Well, to be fair, I don't think Lee Gunner is the person you'd really want to emulate. To be honest, I'll tell you why after some time.
No, that's true. But anyway, I'll get on with these comments. Joe's in here, Joanne Smith. Nice to see you, Joe.
That's me, Joe.
Hello to everyone. She's saying there. Great lady. She's brilliant. She's been on my live stream quite a lot. I don't think she's ever really been on any streams in the panels or anything, but maybe this time this year she might be able to come on one or two, which would be great. Great to have you in there, another Arsenal fan, anyway, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to you, Steve. Yeah, thanks, Joe. Yeah, Happy New Year to you. Hello, Manny. Joe's saying there.
Hi, Joanne. Happy New Year to you. Hope you and your cats are all fine.
Yeah, she's got a few, I think, hasn't she? Yeah.
I've got a couple too.
No, she was on the diet. I don't know if you're still doing that diet, Joe. I know it's wrong time of year to be on a diet, I think. But yeah, hope you kept up with it. But anyway, another comment there. OMG, Arsenal are so bad there is a lot of unrest in the camp. Well, exactly. And we'll be talking about that fairly soon, actually. So, a few things about that. Another comment here, Joe again. Crikey, it's all hurt in here today. Well, come on when my tooth is better. Last out loud, I've got 8 cats. Right, 8 cats.
Wow, 8 cats. Fair play, man.
8 out of 10 cats said, yeah. Anyway.
Hey.
Was it 8 out of 10 owners? Sorry, but anyway. So their cats preferred it. Yeah. Yes, I've got to get back on my diet. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there we go. Yeah, I'm sure you will let it go there, Joe, at the end there, and Christmas and New Year.
I was going to say, it makes sense to go back to the diet, especially with Christmas and everything. Like,
yeah.
You can have a cheat day. You've done all the year round. That's your reward.
You got to shed the pounds, mate, innit? Yeah. So.
Exactly. You know, fair play to you for them people that doing it the whole year and then till Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, fair play.
By the way, I've got to put this thing at the bottom. I've got to do that. The ticker at the bottom there. Yeah, so follow me on Mr. B for Life 182 on Insta. Please smash the likes and sub if you're new. That's great. I did lose one sub. I was an 84. I don't know, for some reason somebody's unsubbed to me. I don't know what I've done. But I won't take it personally anyway. I'll carry on. I don't know what it is. But anyway. Right, we'll move on to the first subject, guys. And that is... wait a minute. I'll get to it soon. Here we go. One for Manny to start. Arsenal lose once again, this time to Fulham 2-1. Are they destined to miss out on the Prem once again? Why hasn't Arteta been sacked for coming up short again? Is he actually unsackable? So you've got a few questions there to answer, Manny. And we'll start with you and then go to Joe, obviously.
Yeah, I will actually get to that. And one of the reasons why I am on Twitter a great deal is because I get to see what some twits, for want of a nicer word, have to say about this whole issue. And I've also got a few mates on a WhatsApp group, neither of whom are Arsenal fans, who pretty much tell me that I should be quite lucky to have Arteta as a manager, and they all rate him very highly indeed for some reason or another. I really can't figure it out. And you know, the worst part about this all is that this particular defeat was a defeat for which we can't have any complaints at all. Because when you take a look at the Newcastle and West Ham losses, the stupid fans, the flop gooners, as I call them, will continue to point to VAR and say, you know, we were robbed, we were mugged, the refereeing was awful. But those more sensible of us would say, look, whenever you have that sort of whenever you are faced with someone trying to, you know, chase the ball and prevent it from going to going beyond the goal line, you cannot allow that person to do that. You play to the whistle. And whether it was Joe Willock at St. James's Park or Jared Bowen at the Emirates, we failed to do either of those things. And we're expecting effectively calls to go our way. We're expecting you know, more and more favors. And yet we still, and I don't want to say we, because there are some of us who are more sensible, Mr. B, but I say this because the flop gooners expect, you know, to be given credit for, you know, having a young team with a young manager achieving so much, and yet want to use the same excuse when things don't go to plan. As we'd say back in England, it's a case of wanting to have both the penny and the bun. Not wanting to give up any kind of ground whatsoever. And that Fulham game really showed that we don't have any credibility at all, because we took the lead early enough through Bukayo Saka. I want to credit Gabriel Martinelli for cutting in early and unleashing that shot. Well saved by the ex-gunner Bernd Leno, but Saka was there at the right place at the right time. The Fulham defence was quite frankly statuesque, and not in a good way. I mean, the commentator said that it's one thing to want to try and hold the line, but another thing altogether to just stand there when a ball goes towards an opponent, and you're not even having the common sense to try to attack that ball. You've got to make sure you watch the man, don't watch the ball, and also stick to your job of marking that person, and they failed to do that. But inexplicably, what should have heralded a performance where we started to press even harder ended up becoming a more passive display where we just allowed them to come back at us. We allowed our ex-gunners, Willian and Alex Iwobi, to literally bomb down both wings. Even Anthony Robinson was having a whale of a time, cooking Ben White on that area. The less said about Jakub Kiwior, the better. And when you have a situation where our best left-back is playing in Spain and we've got left-backs who simply cannot defend for Toffee, he's being found out. And people are starting to see Arteta and his supposed tactical mastery for what it is. And the biggest lesson here is that you can't simply try to ape another team's style thinking that is the best way to go about it simply because another team's won a boatload of trophies with that. It doesn't work that way. We don't have the squad that City have. We don't even have the midfield that they have. And when you have a really good quality midfield, when you have some people who are willing to become a lot more defensive, then you can consider overlapping. We played our best football with a 4-2-3-1 formation, which allowed Zinchenko to invert to his heart's content because we knew that one of the defensive midfielders could come back into the defensive line and keep the flat back four. But then when you have three at the back, you stretch your central defenders, you're asking for trouble. And it's the same tactics again and again and again. When they look good, they do look very, very good. But when they look bad, they look horrid. Just like the girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. And so the reason why Arteta hasn't been sacked for coming up short again is because technically he hasn't come up short yet. And many Arsenal fans are going to point to the 97-98 double winning season where at Christmas time we were 12 points behind Manchester United but recovered magnificently. But the fact is, none of these players in this current team could hold a candle to those superstars in that team. Whether it was David Seaman and his iconic back four, whether it was the likes of Mark Overmars, Dennis Bergkamp, even Ian Wright in his final season, and sadly Paul Merson had gone to Middlesbrough at the time, very much missed, but we still had Ray Parlour and a few other players, and those players right now would smoke this current lot hands down. And we didn't need to resort to any kind of ridiculous inverted stuff because Nigel Winterburn and Lee Dixon didn't need to do that. They were the old-fashioned full backs who could overlap perfectly, put in some crunching tackles and good crosses, and they knew their responsibilities. And you had Tony Adams, Steve Bald, and Martin Keown in the back, in the center of the defense as part of the back four.
Proper defenders.
So yeah, exactly. So he hasn't technically come up short, Arteta, because a lot of people are going to say, listen, we've got to stick with him. But there does come a time when we're starting to realize that, the way he's going about things is just not good enough. If he doesn't make any responsible purchases in the transfer market to try to strengthen the squad in the areas where we need strengthening, we're going to have the same problem again and again and again. And it looks awful. The football looks awful. The tactics look absolutely... they've been laid bare for everyone to see. They're just disgusting tactics which hardly ever work now these days. And many teams have, in fact, found us out. So I do believe we will miss out on the Premiership title once again. Whether it's destined to happen, I don't know. But the reason why he hasn't been sacked is... And this quote is what AFC Always said to me in reply on Twitter, Emery hasn't even spent a quarter what Arteta has had to spend, but the job he's been doing at Aston Villa has been wonderful. And this guy doesn't believe in this inverted nonsense. Yes, he uses a high line, which can be risky at times, but they do have a good low block. They have, of course, suffered with injuries and suspensions, which has affected their past few games, but they're not using that as an excuse. And you can tell that with a serious club and a serious manager, they will make some purchases in January. It will remain to be seen what we do with with whatever money we have. And so, again, he hasn't been sacked because it isn't the end of the season yet. And I do believe the board have an idea that they want to give him 5 years. And if they don't like what they see, then maybe they'll get rid of him, or maybe they won't. Is he actually unsackable? That is a question that was asked.
Is there such a thing as an unsackable manager?
I will talk about that by talking about a certain Arsene Wenger who stayed with our club for 22 years but stayed too long. He gave us some of our finest moments, but his European record consists of one Champions League final, one Champions League semi-final, a Europa League semi-final, and that's pretty much it. He has not really been able to cut the mustard in Europe, and you could tell that despite winning a glut of FA Cups in his last few seasons, he was there for a little bit too long because he wasn't quite able to make the team a tougher, harder bunch of players who could actually go on until the end and win things. And we still have really bad memories of the 2007-2008 season where we were flying high only for Martin Taylor to break Eduardo da Silva's leg. And we all just seemed to lose our composure with that. We simply never had the ability to really toughen up and move forward the way Graham's teams did. And so, you know, he stayed on for 22 years because the board didn't want to get rid of him. He was still able to help us qualify for the top four every year, get the Champions League football and the Champions League money. But once the fans started to show their discontent, you know, the writing was effectively on the wall. And instead of sacking him, the board told him politely, Arsene, you will always be a legend, but I'm afraid we're going to have to ask you to agree to part ways with us. We're not going to give you the ignominy of sacking you. So I still believe that if performances do tank, and if more and more fans start to get wise to it and realize that the emperor has no clothes, then we will see what happened near the end of Wenger's term, where fans started to protest and say, enough's enough, it's time to go. And the problem is we need more and more people saying, having the courage to say it's time to go. And yet all these people are going to talk about how he's changed the culture of the club and brought in more and given more of our younger players a chance to shine. That is a really big misconception. If anything, he's done a lot more to ruin some of our younger talents, Emile Smith-Rowe being a case in point. He's gotten rid of several players who might have not have been the best people to deal with, but who were winners and serious players in their own right. And of course, for all of the talk about how Aubameyang was supposedly the Antichrist incarnate, you know, the thing which really tipped things over was when he went to see his sick mother in France and couldn't come back due to some logistical issues. And Arteta decided, you know, we had to make an example of that. By all means, take away the captaincy, but you don't just bin him and not get a proper replacement. That's just incompetence. And we're still suffering without a 20-goal-a-season striker. And we talk about sharing the goals. Well, Aston Villa is sharing the goals, but the difference between them and us is that your old boy, Ollie Watkins, has stood up to be counted. 11 goals this season. So I think more and more sensible fans are starting to see Arteta and his tactics and his man management for what they are. He's a micromanager par excellence, if you could say that. And there is a part of me that does feel that as long as the board maintain their confidence in him, he might not get the sack. It will be up to the fans to voice their displeasure in larger crowds. The only problem is most of these Arsenal fans have guzzled down the Kool-Aid and think that Arteta is the right man to take things forward. But the irony is, for all of the talk about how he supposedly changed the culture for the better, he's actually in many ways changed it for the worse. And, you know, there was a comment which talked about the unrest at the club. Gabriel Martinelli refusing to shake ESR's hand. That could very well be, something that really points to something really rotten going on behind the scenes. Yeah. And the more and more of this drip news comes out, the more we'll get to see the final picture. And there are some people who are saying that this could very well be the beginning of the end. But I don't want things to turn really bad before they start to get better. But if that is what is meant to happen, then, so be it.
Yeah, thanks for all that, Manny. It's great to hear your opinions on it. Being a diehard Arsenal fan and sufferer all this time. I'm
suffering so much that when if I feel like dying and dying hard.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, at the moment. But before I move on to Joe, I've got my other guest in here, the resident Luton fan, Stephen. Big up, Stephen.
Big up.
How's your new year, mate?
Just got over a bug. I've had a bug for the last 48 hours.
Oh, bless you.
No, man.
Yeah. Sick on news on Saturday. Absolutely spewed up my guts, and I just managed to shift it today.
Oh, bless you.
First time I've ate in 48 hours.
Oh, no, man. Yeah. I remember you having something like that before. Was it Christmas or something? Or
yeah, I had bad cold, so it's coming full throttle. Every time I go out the front door, I seem to catch something. It's like my immune system has just gone bollocks.
Sounds like it, mate. Yeah, shame. Anyway, Joe, what's your take on all this, mate?
Well, I just feel like with Arsenal, like you look at last season, they finished 8th not last season, but the last season before. Yeah, they were 8th, and I think at the end of the day, from coming 8th to 2nd, I think teams just didn't underestimate them. They just didn't take them too seriously, and I just think with Arteta, like I think the board probably said to him, "Look, just get top 4 or any European competitions." But yeah, they got him 2nd, being at the top for so many days. It's literally there, like, right, we want you to win it now. And yes, in the summer he has been backed, but the thing is, I just feel like you haven't got that depth like Man City do. And case in valid point, I mean, like Martinelli, for instance, he's been shocking form, absolutely shocking. Yeah. He why was he not? I know he got sort of assist on yesterday, but for me, I would have started like Trossard. The guy got 3 assists against Fulham last season. So why did he not start? Saka and as well. I like Saka, I do, but he's out of form. But then who do you replace?
I think Saka's tired.
Exactly, and it's like another Jack Wilshere for me. Because Wenger played Jack Wilshere too many times, and look at Jack Wilshere. Too many times, That's what I'm thinking. Arteta with Saka. I like Saka, I really do, but I think you do need to give him a rest. And everyone says, but
I also think with Saka, sorry, because Ben's been talking about that person. Arteta brought him back far too soon because he was injured, didn't play for England, and then Arteta thought, well, he must be fit now, and paid him. And I don't think he's fully fit, and I don't think he's got over it.
Yeah. And
so you play someone who ain't fully fit, is going to try harder, get tired more easier, and I don't think Saka's fully recovered yet. He needs a break.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's all right. You guys talk as much as you want, as long as it's fine. But for me as well, like if Saka drops out, who do you replace? Nelson. Like, no offense to Nelson or anything, but that's a massive. But it's a massive drop down.
He was bad when he come on Nelson, wasn't he? The other day,
yeah, but it's a massive drop down from Saka to Nelson. Like,
it's a huge drop down. Yeah.
It's massive, and at the end of the day, I do agree with Stephen. I think they had the 2 weeks off. I don't think Saka's fully recovered.
And if you're talking about managers getting sacked, if Arteta also gets sacked, who do you replace him with? Because there's no one out there at the moment.
No, not at all.
There's no one there.
I mean, everyone was saying like Zidane, Simeone, and
Right, I've got a problem with this whole thing. Right, it's the same with Rooney. Right, they had Eustace in charge of Birmingham, did a great job, had him 6th. Right, in the playoffs, sack him, and you replace him with a famous name and a famous face in Rooney, who's won 1 game in 8?
Yeah.
And lost all the rest. You bring in Zidane, who don't know English football, never been here to play English football, and put him in an Arsenal team. That's going to make them go backward more than they're going forward.
Well, he said he doesn't want to...
Arsenal, but you bring in Zidane, they'll drop further back. Because
does it still mean he'd be successful just because they brought in Zidane, a big coach, a big name coach?
Yeah, but you got to think though, he's done Real Madrid. He's done shit at Real Madrid, Steve. And you bring him into an Arsenal side in the Premier League who's never been there, and you've got to adapt your style to the Premier League. I don't think Arsenal would adapt to that. It's the continental style is so different.
He would have so much.
The same as Sven coming on Man City. They took ages to adapt.
He would have so much work to do, but like, that Real Madrid
team. You remember when Sven went to Manchester City? He was awful for the first month and a half.
Yeah.
Until he got signed, you can't afford to lose a month and a half at this time of the season.
No, absolutely, and that's what I mean. Like everyone says, like, "Oh, look how many won Champions League with Real Madrid." I'm like, yeah, but that team says it for itself. Like it's easy to pick that team.
Yeah, me and you could walk into Barcelona or Real Madrid tomorrow and take them to the Champions League.
Literally, like
it's one of them teams that have got the resources there. I mean,
and you've also got your main 11. Like that's your main 11. If you change it, then that's your fault.
And I can tinker if I need to.
Also, fellas, right? Listen, fellas, right? Also, ex-players don't necessarily make great managers.
That's what I mean. I'm
look at Rooney, Lampard.
Point in case of Lampard and all that.
You know what?
Great manager.
There's only one manager. There's only one manager. There's one manager who went from a player to a manager. Is Rob Edwards.
Well, yeah, he's good.
Rob Edwards,
good example actually of being a very good manager.
Because he went to Forest Green, got him promoted, and then he got sorry to say, Stephen Forrest. Sorry for swearing. He went to Watford. Sorry, Stephen. I'm sorry. I know you're underwell. But this is the happy part. Okay.
Okay. I'm not going to be sick. So.
And then he went to Watford, and then he got sacked from Watford. Then he went to Luton, and then in that season he got him promoted.
David, that's karma.
Exactly.
Considering, because we've all got rid of Jones, because we didn't get rid of Jones. Jones decided to go to Southampton the right way instead of going to Stoke the wrong way. Second time, but this was done the right way. Go through the right channels, inviting for an interview, and he went. And then Rob Edwards gets sacked by we were 14th at the time, and then Watford get sack Edwards, who were sitting 6th, 2 points behind automatic promotion.
Yep.
Things ain't going right for him. The high cheeses of the Italians don't like him where they are. Sack him. He comes to Luton straight away. He molds the club. He tinkers with it a little bit. Changes the formation a little bit, only slightly, and plays his football more passing instead of direct. Yeah, he's direct now because the Premier League's a little bit different. But in the Championship, you can play more passing, a little bit low in places, a little bit more direct in games that you're chasing. But he changed it up for more passing because Edwards was just one direct. That was it. Jones, one direct. Edwards more tinkered around with it, and I loved going to watch Luton that season because we were playing better football. We had more than one plan, and we were loving it. And Arsenal and Wolves fans must be kissing themselves for letting them go.
I think with Luton as well, like even this season in the Prem, like you say. He's not got more. He's not just got one plan. He, like you say, he tinkers. So he goes he has more than one plan, and that's what you need to do as a manager nowadays. You can't just rely on the exact same team like Arteta does. Like Arteta has his favourites.
Yeah, exactly.
And like you say, with the Smith Rowe, Martinelli thing, and I'm like, Smith Rowe was high hopes, and okay, I'm not saying he's bad because he's got injuries.
Strange that he's playing now because he was on Luton's radar for January on loan for 6 months. But now he's playing.
I mean, if you get him, put him in that Jacob Brown role.
Well, the call was, the rumor was that he was going to come to Luton because the simple reason was he wanted to get back in the England side.
Yeah.
Well, to be looked at and to be up to speed with the pace of the football that would be played in the summer. That was the plan. But if Arsenal are going to play him now, then they're not going to let him go, are they?
Yeah, no. I think they'll need him.
Because I think there's something about buying the Conga for like 8 mil or something and bringing Emil Smith Rowe in. But I can't see Luton spend 8 mil on the Conga, even though how good he is and how well he's performing at the moment. Because he's performing brilliantly at the moment. Yeah. I can't see them spend 8 million on him.
Yeah. Well, he obviously came from Arsenal as well, didn't he? The Conga.
Well, the Conga's quality.
On loan, isn't he?
Yeah, he's quality.
I think that's what it is.
It's passing.
He hasn't signed at Arsenal, though, has he?
He's played a little bit. He's played a couple of Champions League games, but nothing major. He's come to us, and I think his passes and his range is brilliant. He links up with Townsend. He links up well with Barkley, and they're two season pros, and he links up well with both of them.
But you got to give credit to like Rob Edwards and the staff to like settle Lokonga in, because everyone was not happy with Lokonga. Like everyone was like slating him and things like that, and everything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he got injured first of all, but he's come back.
Anyway, lads, he
looks like he has
a get back to the subject.
He's way too good for us.
Can we get back to the subject, guys? We just get back to this, because obviously
he's way too good for us.
We're going off on a tangent here again, of other stuff. But we try and get back to this, and obviously I want to get sort of like a quick sort of answer from each of you about, do you think Arsenal are going to miss out again? And obviously about Arteta being sacked, can he actually get sacked? And what what will actually happen here? And going to Manny again quickly, do you think he'll last in the job? Do you think Arsenal got a chance of winning it this season? Or do you think?
I think all I will say is to whether or not we have a chance of winning it is that it will depend on our activity in the transfer market, because some of these players, quite frankly, are running on fumes, and they also seem very disillusioned with the manager's tactics. I wouldn't be surprised if he decides to throw some of these players under the bus and sort of drum them out of the club. He's already done that to a few people. And the worst part is the fans will lap it up and say, well done, Mikel. You're a wonderful disciplinarian. But maybe Aubameyang was right. It is Arteta who's the problem, trying to be a mini Pep when he doesn't even have Pep's tactical nows or tactical flexibility. And even Pep isn't exactly, bendable either. And he's not going to get sacked this season. I think the board have pretty much made it clear that they are all in with him. But as I've said, it will take, results getting really, really bad, sadly, and the fans starting to become very disillusioned before change can happen. But he's not going to last in the job beyond next season. I can guarantee you that. Because 5 years without success will not be tolerated. A lot of people are saying it took Klopp 4 years, and after 4 years he started to win, and he's given Liverpool some of their best times since some 30 years or so. And it took Alex Ferguson 4 years, but once he started winning, there was no looking back. But those guys were experienced. Even Arsene Wenger had served his apprenticeship back in France and in Japan before coming to England. So anyone who, to this idiot Kinos who writes for the She Wore Yellow Ribbon blog online, and you can look that up. It is nothing but the most rabid pro-Arteta drivel you will ever see. It's pro-Arteta propaganda. I'm going to say to you right now, in reply to that ridiculous piece you wrote about Arteta, keep the names of those three legends out of your filthy mouth. It's fans like you who are really driving this club down. And we may never get back up for quite a long time.
They give the real ones a bad name, didn't they, Manny?
You bet. So hopefully I've answered your question. We won't win the Premiership this year unless we do something drastic. He's not going to get sacked this season, maybe at the end of next season. But did you have another question for me, mate?
Well, basically as well, in my opinion, Manny, I think they've down tools for him, these players. I think they just got sick of him, his tactics, what he's trying to make them do, playing them out of positions.
It looks that way. It definitely looks that way. Making them
try and do different stuff they're not used to. For players, footballers, it's basic. They play in their positions. They do what they're told in their own positions. They don't get moved. If you're not versatile to play in another position, you won't play there because you're not good enough to do that. And I think he's trying to make them do something. He's like trying to make them like circus performers. Jump out of through a hoop or something, or on a trapeze or something.
It seems he's got an excuse for everything as well, which doesn't make good interviews.
No, exactly.
That's my take on it. When they lose, he comes up with any excuse under the sun, apart from going, "Look, our man's up. I got it wrong this time. Formation went right." He never does that. He always makes up an excuse, VAR or The players weren't where they were supposed to be, blah, blah, blah. He never holds hands up and goes, I got it wrong. Tactics were wrong. Formation was wrong. My bad. He never does that. Never puts hands up. That's the only gripe I've got with him. I don't mind him as a bloke because he does speak highly of other clubs like he did us. But his interviews really great on me when he doesn't hold his hands up.
Yeah.
Every time they lose, it's always a ping like, what's the excuse Arteta's going to say this time?
Yeah, you are sitting there going, let's see what we pick out the 5 topics he's got. VAR, players weren't right, tiredness, blah, 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 or internationals.
Yeah.
One of them will make an excuse. And he'll probably say internationals when they weren't pissed on the international play. He'll probably say it just to cover his own back.
Yeah. It's like playing bingo with Mikel Arteta.
Yeah.
What's he going to say?
I've got a card. Do you want me to send you one?
Yeah, cheers, Stephen. I'll send you my address, yeah?
It's the lottery.
Nice.
We'll put me and Stephen every time we do an Arsenal game and they lose, we'll just watch it like.
Yeah. Oh, take that one. Bingo.
Oh, we said that one. Yes.
Yeah. It does seem that way, but that's the only guy. I mean, yeah, he does make a lot of excuses.
But the thing is, though, as well, like, it's nearly enough the same team since he's taken over, and there's no like swaps over. Like, yes, okay, Jesus came in and whatnot, not last season, but the season, I think it was last season. Yeah, when they were 1 second or whatever it was. But you need a refresh, nearly like not every season, but like just a revamp on everything. Like,
I don't understand. I understand bringing in Jesus, but was he meant to be the goal scorer?
I don't know why
he's never consistent enough.
Because he's never been he wasn't just a goal scorer for Man City, was he? He was basically a second fiddle to Aguero, and when they played together, he was just behind Aguero.
But then when it was his turn,
Arsenal need a goal scorer. There's no doubt about it. They need a 20+ a season goal scorer, hands down. And maybe, like maybe a little free fresh in other departments to see what's there and what is Deadwood.
But the thing is, when it was his time, Jesus, he was put on the right wing. So then it's like, right, like and then he now turns like, oh, I'm the main man. I'm like, yeah, but you were the main man for City when they needed you. Like, you know, they had to play a false 9. I think they had to put De Bruyne as a false 9.
De Bruyne can play there though, but it's not like he said. It's not natural, but he can play there. But like he's more sit back creative player, isn't he? So
Pep's got more tactical now, so he knows what he's doing with that. I mean,
Arteta's like you said, Arsenal, they've got no chance. I don't think they'll win the Premiership. No chance.
No.
And I think Arteta is sackable, but like I said, not till the end of the season.
It's going to take also the fans because
I think they're not
the real fans, are they?
I think they're not going to win the league, and I think they'll come fourth. I think it'll be Man City, Liverpool, them two, and I think Villa might be up there in third. I really do like the look of Villa.
Yeah, their home form is impeccable, but I mean they've lost one at home, but apart from that,
but the thing about Villa is that unless they do strengthen in January, and I do believe they will, as I've said, they will not really maintain their amazing form. They struggled at home against Sheffield United and Burnley and contrived to lose to United after going 2-0 up. And they're feeling the effects of suspensions and injuries like every other team. But one of the reasons why I admire Unai Emery is that he doesn't make any excuses. He accepts his failings. And most importantly, they're going to take Early Doors Football TV. Well done on beating us at the Emirates. By far the better team. Yeah. A well-deserved win. Happy New Year to you and your family and your near and dear ones, mate. Thank you for joining in. And as I was saying, Emery won't make any excuses. He'll do what needs to be done. And I think it's fair to say that one of the reasons why he wasn't able to succeed at Arsenal is because we were never willing to give him a chance as fans, the majority of us. The board also were a bit too strict with him because they thought that because he was experienced, more should have been expected of him. Whereas when you hire a novice, you don't expect too much. And the FA Cup being a bonus meant that he had earned the confidence of the board. It's ridiculous. Once again, as we would say, Mr. B, it's about wanting the penny and the bun. And when you try to have keep the penny and have the bun, sooner or later you're going to lose at least one of them, or maybe even both.
I don't think Chelsea. I'm going to say Chelsea, Arsenal, or maybe even Man City. aren't really worried about the domestic cups because they've won so many times. They're worried about the big European Cup, and that if they win that, that's what anyone wants. And Arsenal need to win that to make, well, if Arteta's there, to make him a household name. If you don't win that or don't win anything, then he has to go because Arsenal a huge club. There's no doubt about it. They are one of the biggest in the Premier League.
I mean, he's a dead man walking
to make him happy, but I don't think the domestic cups will make him happy.
But the thing is though, like with Unai Emery, we're talking about Unai Emery, like the signings that they made, it was the board signings, not Emery. Like Emery wanted Wolford Zaha, but then you got Nicolas Pepe.
And Pepe wasn't bad, to be fair, but he just wasn't what Emery wanted.
I think the board will now listen to him and say, "Look, this is who I want. If we're going to continue on the European trail, this is who I want." Yeah. And they'll listen to him because they're thinking, "Well, hold on, he has got a chance of winning Europe here."
And the guy took Arsenal to Europa League final.
Yeah, but Villa get into a Europa League final. If he says, look, if they think to him, well, actually, we'll get him who he wants because we've got a chance of winning Europe here and get into the Champions League without even going for the Premiership, I'll buy him who he wants. Yeah. All they've got to do is win the Europa League and they're in the Champions League without worrying about the Premier League.
Yeah.
I mean, Arteta's a dead man walking. If he don't get these sort of, these so-called fan base that Arsenal have got, these new sort of these young people who've never seen success before and back in the day, Arsenal, what they've achieved. And, we're getting all those. If you don't get them coming on board with the diehard fans, you'll never get this man out.
If Arteta gets fourth and he gets the FA Cup, then they've gone downhill. And it's like a Wenger problem. Because Wenger had that, and everyone was like, "Oh, we got fourth. We've got the FA Cup."
I don't know how Wenger lasted 22 years, in my opinion.
Like, you can't win either way. Like, if that was Arteta, they'd be like, "Oh, don't worry, Mikel, it's all right." If it was Arsenal, they'd be like, "Oh, we passed it."
Yeah.
It's like, no, you can't do that. Like, he's your club legend manager. He's made you where you are now. And then you were like, "Oh, no, he's got us fourth now." And be happy. You're in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Like, in the day, like, if it's like, "Oh, we got fourth," who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
And the thing is, as well, like, everyone, like, the thing is, like, obviously, you got Arsenal and United fans all coming and saying, "Oh, the owner this." So, not being funny, look at Luton's owners last 10 years ago. Look at like Bolton's, Wigan's, Derby's, Bury. Their owners are rubbish. They're far worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those are the teams I've said. I've had it far worse than Arsenal and Man U. And they dare to cry about it. I'm like, that's nothing.
Oh, we said that many a time when they've cried. We said, "Yeah, try and be in our position, you bastards, and have a look."
Oh, well.
Anyway, lads, we're going to move on. We've exhausted that, I think, that subject. Moving on to this one, Liverpool and City both win again and are first and third in the Prem, with Villa in between. Will it become a two-horse race between them, or can Villa or another team have a say in it? So, Manny, do you want to start again?
Well, I think it was January.
Nice. Well, first of all, if City do have a game in hand, and if they do win that, then they will be certainly far up. City, to be fair, have sort of struggled this season. I think, obviously, having to deal with the loss of Gundogan and a few others hasn't helped, and the injuries to the likes of Kevin De Bruyne and Rodri haven't helped. Rodri has come back recently, and in recent games, we've seen Phil Foden take his chance to shine in the absence of De Bruyne. And you just there is a school of thought which says that once their players get back to once their first team players all come back, then City will start to go on a run. But one thing which we've noticed, and one thing which has been very badly overlooked, is that City's defence has looked very, very porous at times. One particular player, Mr. B, you'll know who I'm talking about, has been one of City's biggest culprits this season in terms of their defensive instability. How that guy is still contracted to Manchester City, I will never know. Some of the mistakes he's made have been absolutely abysmal, I will say that. Certainly responsible for at least 2 of the goals when City drew at Stamford Bridge 4-4. And they need to sort out their defensive problems as well. And Liverpool as well have also got some defensive problems of their own because both of their starting left backs, Robertson and Tsimikas, are now out for quite some time. I do believe Robertson might be coming back later on this month, but until then, they've got to stick with Joe Gomez, who's deceptively a far better right defender than people give him credit for. Excellent right back, but he may never get in the team at right back because of a certain TAA.
Yeah, but which I think is right back in my eyes.
Yeah, Steve, please let me finish. All right, I'm sorry about that. I am sorry, but I do have a right to say what I want to say. All right, now. Yeah. So we see that both Liverpool and City have got some defensive worries of their own, and Villa have also got some defensive problems too because, they've lost Tyrone Mings for the entire season. I don't think they've adequately replaced him. Pau Torres has shown some promise, but he's been injured recently and is just coming back. Diego Carlos has proven to be a little bit, erratic at times. He's now conceded 2 goals where the ball's taken a wicked deflection off him and gone past Martinez in goal. And Ezri Konsa has had to be used at right back, and he's a far better centre back than a right back. And when you don't have Matthew Cash in the team because of injuries or suspensions or what have you, then that absence is felt. In addition to the 4-2-3-1 formation that Emery likes to use, he also enjoys playing a 3-4-2-1 where Matthew Cash and Luca Digne or Alex Moreno can sort of bomb down the wings and provide a little bit of a counter to any wide formation that other teams might like to use. And I do believe that if Matthew Cash had been playing against Manchester United, there is no way that Villa would have allowed Højlund and company to completely exploit those wide areas and, break that high line which Villa like to use. So it's hard to say whether it's going to be a 2-horse race between Liverpool or City. And as I said, a lot's going to depend on what Villa will do in the transfer market because they've got a few injuries right now and they've got to address that balance. Luca Digne is going to be out for a month, so they've only got Moreno. They will need a short-term left-back option, someone who can, play the way Emery likes to play. Another right-back could be the answer unless he wants to continue playing Ezri Konsa at right-back and making him look like a fish out of water. When you don't have Diego Carlos or Pau Torres playing, you've got Clement Longley, the ex-Tottenham defender, and Callum Chambers, the ex-Arsenal defender, who's more of a utility player in his own right. And with the bench that they've got, it's a bit like Arsenal. They're not going to really go further unless they have a really good bench. This week, though, we are going to see some FA Cup action, and Villa will be playing in that. It will be very interesting to see what sort of a team Emery puts out. And Emery will certainly want to make a better impression in the Cups because, exiting the League Cup earlier this season wasn't a good look on him. They also went out of the FA Cup last season at home to Stevenage of all teams. And, he's going to want to see some of his players stand up to be countered, especially when they play their FA Cup games. So, for me, I think Villa might possibly try to, move forward. I think they will. I do like the fact that Villa's fans are a lot more grounded and they're sort of saying, we're going to take things one game at a time and enjoy the ride for what it was. Yeah. We haven't been this happy since the days of Ron Atkinson and Brian Little, because bear in mind, in '93, it was Atkinson, the former United manager, who took them to second in the Premiership with the team that he had. What a team that was. They sadly faded away. And then Little had them in third or fourth, I don't quite remember. And since then, they haven't experienced those heady days. But what Emery's done for them has been magnificent. It will remain to be seen whether they can maintain that and really get back to playing the fine football they did against Manchester City and, other teams where they ended up scoring those goals. And it's going to remain to be seen what happens with Villa. Liverpool and City will need to strengthen their defence. Liverpool's midfield looks all right. I think Endo will need to toughen up a little bit if he sees himself as an option to play in the absence of McAllister. And as far as City are concerned, defensively, they're going to have to tighten up as well and cut down their ridiculous mistakes. And they're going to need to start being a little bit more solid. So it will be. It does look to be a bit of a 2-horse race between Liverpool and City for now because they've got more of the experience in these title races, and they both won the Premiership more recently. But if Aston Villa do make some do strengthen in the transfer window, if they let some players go and bring some in, and they sort of get back to the form they showed, I wouldn't be surprised if they start mounting a challenge. But as far as Arsenal are concerned, Well, if they have any designs on making this a 4-horse race, they've got a lot of work to do internally. And the same thing applies for Spurs and Manchester United and Newcastle. They might still have ambitions of having a say in this race. I'm going to say, look within yourselves and start to improve, make some big changes, or don't even think about entering this race for the title.
Yeah, anyway, Stephen, you was going to try and respond.
I don't think Endo is a replacement of McAllister. McAllister's playing in the false number 6, which should be playing in the first place anyway. McAllister is not a defensive midfielder. He's a central midfielder. He should be playing there in the first place. I don't understand what he's doing as a false number 6. That's why he got injured, because he's not number 6. Endo, yes, you're right. He needs to toughen up, because I think that's his best position. But McAllister should be playing there. As for Alexander-Arnold, he ain't a right back, nowhere near a right back. He shouldn't even be a right back anymore. He likes bobbing forward. He likes set pieces. He likes his corners. A right midfield is his position. Right winger, if you want a right winger or right midfielder, that's where he should be playing. Gomez is perfectly capable, or Tsimikas is perfectly capable to play on either left or right. Both of them. Gomez can play on the left. Tsimikas can play on the right. You can swim around if you want to. It doesn't really matter. They can both play there. And it's just that's what Klopp needs to do. Think, right, okay, Arnold is better going forward. He likes bombing forward. He likes set pieces. Let's put him to right midfield. He's done it once before. It worked really well. Why put him back at right back? I don't understand. Put him back there and put Gomez at right back. Perfectly fine. It works. Gomez can do a job. It's not a problem. As for Villa, I don't understand. If Cash can't play, the Conga can play there. He's able to play anywhere on that back. I wouldn't put him there unless he can play there. It's you've got to think about it. That people. I can't say to you. I'll tell you what. Ben Mee. I'll play him up front because he can play there. It's not like that. If Ben Mee, I'll say, oh right, he says it back. I'll put him on the left because I ain't got no one to play there because I know he can play there because he's done it before. If you play someone that's been there before, you play him there. You don't put him there if you can't.
Then again, Ben Mee's probably better than Neil Maupay up front, though.
Yeah, but at the moment, he is. But if you
did
played there before. Congo has played there for Villa before. Yeah, it's not his best. I guarantee it's not his best. You don't like it there. He does look a bit of fish out of water, but he can play there.
Yeah, I think as well, like you say, I think for me, why don't you go out for a right back and then put Trent in that midfield role? Because then you've got Trent.
That's what I said. Gomez can play right back, and Arnold should be in the right midfield because he likes going forward. As you said, a 2-horse race, maybe Villa might be able to shake up. Maybe Newcastle could get some form back. But yeah, like I said, there's going to be unless anyone strengthens. I can't see anyone touch them.
Can you see Spurs lasting in it? Can they get into it?
They've lost a couple of. They've got a few injuries, and I don't think they've got the money to spend on players because they went out heavily in the summer. They might have the money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they ain't got the money, but I don't think they'll go heavily on it. But yeah, it's unless Villa buy a few players that can tinker and bolster them up a little bit and keep them in that race. And Arsenal by an out striker, there's no one going to touch Liverpool or City.
I just think Liverpool, all you need is sign a right back, sign a left back, and then put Gomez in that centre back role, and then you're sorted. That's what they need to do, really.
I don't know what. Do you know Virgil and Conte?
Yeah, no. They got Virgil and Konate. Then you've got that Gomez. Then you've got Quinza. Matip's injured for the rest of the season.
Quinza.
But yeah, no, honestly, left back, get Robertson from Fulham, and then right back, maybe Frank.
Yeah, but I think Tsimikas can play. Tsimikas can play left back or right back. He's perfectly adaptable, isn't he?
I don't know. He can play right back.
Gomez plays right back for him at the moment.
Oh yeah. I didn't know about Tsimikas, but then Tsimikas is out injured, isn't he?
Yeah, so left back is a little bit of an option at the moment. But
yeah, so honestly, go for Robertson from Fulham. Right back, get Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen. Liverpool, Bayer Leverkusen. Xabi Alonso.
Gamero would be good as well as right left back. For the VL. So he's only 25. That'd be good.
Yeah, just they need someone there, and then you can Gomez can even be the right back or he can be centre back. So at least you've got that depth.
Like everyone says, Arnold is playing right midfield for the ball. He's not a centre. He's not a right back.
Yeah, I'll put him in
You must have seen it many times. Oh yeah, you remember that final Real Madrid Liverpool final where Vinicius Junior scored.
Yep.
Where's he play? Left midfield, didn't he? Where
Left
was marking him? You're
Trent.
right back, Arnold. But where was he? Nowhere. That's how Milton won 1-0. He was crap against us. He was crap against us. Arnold. Yeah. He was too far up front, and every time we got behind the right backs, he weren't there. He is a right midfield.
See, I'd say he's more for CDM.
Well, could be, but
you say, like
he's not right back.
Yeah, but no, I do agree with you. No, I do agree with you though. Like everyone can't slander McAllister because he's not a 6, he's an 8.
Yeah.
And the thing is, obviously, they wanted Lavia, they didn't get him. They wanted Caicedo, didn't get him. Then they had to go for Endo. So Endo was like, the last guys. I mean, yes, the guy's like 28, 29. They've got like Bichetic as well. Like I don't know if he's going to come in and be that DM, or they'll go out for a DM. I don't know, but I feel like they don't really need to. All they need is get new fullbacks and put Trent in the midfield.
Yeah,
that's what they need to do.
Yeah,
there you go. Right.
I
think it'll be a 2-horse race as well. I think it'll be City or Liverpool.
Yeah, Trent's never a defender, is he?
No, but the thing is, people nowadays always put like their fullbacks as like an inverted midfielder. So like you've got Arsenal, you've got Arsenal, you've got Zinchenko there, and then you've got Trent is Liverpool's, and then City's. They did John Stones last season, but
yeah, John Stones.
I was reading, I don't know if it's a rumor or not, but they wrote about Zinchenko going off online.
No, it's
that was false news. Trash.
Yeah. Also, if you know, they said Tottenham was interested. Why would he go to Tottenham?
Well, Arsenal from Tottenham? No, come on, it's false, fake news. False
Jesus
news.
Christ.
It was even they said in the chat someone was bound to bite.
Yeah.
It was false. It's not even right for Bizia Romano. He ain't got an O on the end. He ain't got double O on the end of his surname. There's no blue tick to his name. So
that's how I
learned. It was false as anything.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's like Bart Simpson and all that, but
Hanno did it yesterday.
I call him Zinchenko. I call him, but
Fabrizio Romano is a well-known journalist in the Premiership. He knows all the news. But he ain't got double O on the end of his name, and he's got a blue tick. If you don't see the blue tick and see double O on the end of Fabrizio Romano, then you know it's not true.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, but anyway, guys, let's, so you both saying that there's
2-horse race.
2-horse race?
Yeah.
2-horse race, yeah.
And there's no other team that's gonna
I think the rest of them
do some business in the transfer market.
Yeah, I think the two of them. I think City and City and Liverpool top 2, and then the 3rd and 4th is up for grabs.
Yes. You can say anyone in that.
And Joe, do you think Chelsea can get up anywhere near there?
No.
I think Chelsea will be happy to finish 5th.
No, you know what? I'll be happy. I think we might get 8th. I think.
Right.
Maybe.
I think Chelsea would be happy to finish anywhere above the top 10. To be fair.
Yeah, literally top half of it, mate. Top half. As long as we survive relegation.
I'm being really honest to them.
I mean, if the next one is Luton Chelsea, mate, I can tell you right now, we were lucky. We were lucky.
Oh.
The thing is, though, I said this on the chat on the thing. I think it was with Hanno. And I was like, I went worried. I saw his watch along. He looked worried.
Strange. That's the thing. I went to the Luton game. I had nothing to eat. And then I was up sick. I'm like, what the hell? I forgot to take my jab on the way out of Luton. That's what it was. I forgot my jab.
Oh, bless you. But no, but the thing is about that game.
I don't feel right, but
the thing is about that game. I don't know if Stephen, you agree with me or not. It's up to you, but please be honest with me. I thought the 75 minutes was all us, but then after that was all you. You were literally piling on us, like literally, like boom, 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 boom. And someone like a striker like Adebayo, we can't defend against someone like him. We can't defend against him.
One of them, I agree. I totally agree. 75 minutes is all you. We had 1 or 2 chances in the 75 minutes, but nothing concrete.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the first one that we missed. I mean, Adebayo, when the ball came over from Chong, Adebayo should have stretched for it. He didn't even stretch for it, and that was a miss. And I'm thinking, it's just not going. And then when that offside goal was awarded as well, I thought, this is just not that. It's not happening. We can't even get a goal. And then we scored one from Barkley. What a beautiful
That
header.
was a beautiful header.
Beautiful header. Guided into the corner. Perfect goal.
He knew where he was aiming for as well.
Yeah, Petrovic had no chance of getting that.
Yeah.
And then we had another corner. We had another crossing for Barkley. And then that one was mistimed. And then obviously we had another cross come in, headed on from Alfie Doughty, parried out to Radbo. 6 minutes to go. 4 minutes ago, and added on time, anything could happen. And we piled and then Chelsea, around about 92nd minute, you slowed it right down, and we just couldn't get the ball back.
The thing is, I felt like as well, like it was the game management nearly cost us massively.
The third goal though for you was really strange because I don't know how you managed to get it from the defense through the midfield like it weren't even there, and there was Palmer for the third goal. Well, where's the midfield?
Yeah. Exactly, that's the thing. But
great goal though, taking it around the keeper, knowing the Congo was going to slide in and stopped. The Congo seen him go past him, he slid home. That was clever.
What player that man is, by the way, Palmer. He's
I don't know what Man City got rid of him. I still don't understand.
Great player, and not like I put in my fantasy. And,
I know what it was. He was on 25 grand at Man City. He's on 75 grand at Chelsea.
Probably put an extra one in it, so he's probably on like 175. Probably.
but you think that's 50 grand more? Where am I going to stay? Where am I going to go?
And then Chelsea
he's got to be an England player, though, isn't he? Let's be honest.
He will be. He will be. I don't know if he'll be summer, but he will be.
I don't think it'll be in the Euros. I think there'll be better players like the Bowens, the Sackers, only just.
Or will Southgate just go with his favourites as usual?
Oh, you know he's going to go with his favourites. You know he
will always go for his Phillips like as his favourite, always. But
okay, here's a question. Here's a question I asked. This is what I asked you, Joe, because you're very knowledgeable, and Steve's already said it, and I think Man said it as well. Phillips or Barkley?
Oh, what for England?
For England, seriously?
Oh, Barkley.
On the form now, it's Barkley.
He's playing as well.
I would take Barkley.
Phillips don't even play for City.
You can say, oh, Phillips won this and that, but at the end of the day, I've always learned from everybody else, club form is more important than big names.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
you got to be played as well.
And Barkley needs to be in that. You know, he needs to be in the shout. And the thing is, as well, like I know you're here, Stephen, and I'm not going to cash you up as well. But another one needs to mention. I know you mentioned him in team of the season, but Alfie Doughty needs a shout out
for left back. Yeah, we said that Alfie deserves at least a mention.
Like Shaw's a bit, Chilwell's injured.
We have said that Alfie deserves a little shout out for his left back for this season. He's been doing brilliantly.
Honestly, if we go in the back three,
I really think he's shine.
Never will.
If we go in the back three, Doughty needs to be in that back three.
I think he'll shine.
Yeah,
but Southgate just won't pick him. He's a body. He's a yes man.
He's not going to be someone in the bottom three, is he? But at the end of the day, if someone's in the bottom three, if you're performing miracles in the bottom three, you deserve a shout.
Yeah, but then if you don't play for the big teams, you don't get a shout out.
No, of course you don't.
Yeah, that's well. It took a while for Phillips to get him because I remember when everyone was saying, "Oh, Phillips needs to play."
Well, we weren't getting him when he's at Leeds, but as soon as he's in Man City, as soon as that transfer was made, he was in the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, another one, Grealish from Man City. He was.
Well, he
didn't really get hardly picked.
As soon as he was in Man City, he got called up.
Yeah, but then he got called up when he was at Villa, but he didn't hardly play. But when he's Man City, he's like, "Oh, he can play for Man City now."
Yeah, of course it was.
But
he's got Lewis in there from City. He's put him in, I say.
Rico Lewis is a good player.
Yeah, Rico Lewis is a good player.
But not there yet.
But, mate, Doughty's there, Barkley's there. Like,
you see all these young players shining, and you think, they should be in the squad.
They're putting the strings at them, really. They are putting the strings. And Townsend being there as well helps the youngsters get along as well. That's a brilliant bit of business.
And the thing is, like, Rico Lewis is, like I say, good play. But the guy's 18. Let him develop in, like, the under-21s or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, don't put him straight into that team unless you're really good, like Bellingham, for instance.
Yeah.
You know, like Bellingham.
Well, Bellingham's special. There's just one Bellingham.
If you are a special player, I think, like, you need to.
Have you seen his brother, by the way?
His brother's not as good as him, but there's still the name carries him.
Yeah, literally. The Bellingham is, like, the trademark.
Yeah.
And he also, Jude Bellingham said his brother's better than him. And I'm like, don't you be cheeky.
So that's why he's playing for Madrid, but playing at Sunderland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One played Champions League, one's playing.
At least 3 or 4 names.
One's playing Championship football,
right?
and the other's playing Champions League.
There's at least 3 or 4 names I can rattle off, right? That should be playing for England right now. Liveramento's 1, Braithwaite's 2, and Palmer's 3.
Who's two? Sorry,
playing for England right now.
Yeah, an update on Livramento, if I can just cut in. Apparently, there's talk about him being called up to play for Scotland along with Gordon and Barnes.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me,
mate. If that's the case,
that's right. Because Livramento only applies for Scotland because his mum stepped off the bus and had a piss in Aberdeen.
Yeah, but if that's the case, fair play to Scotland. No, those are really good players, though. 3 good players.
Right.
Right. Do you know why they're going? They'll go to Scotland because they know they ain't got no chance of playing for pissing England.
Well, because Southgate won't pick them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they'll move.
Yeah,
you know what? I'm going to change allegiances.
Yeah, but you look at the players. You look at the players.
I give Blackpool in a waistcoat.
Yeah, but you look at the players.
Wait. He'll be gone the summer. He will have a failed Euros. He will be gone the summer. Then change your alliance.
Yeah, but the thing is, you look at the players who changed their nationality, who could have represented for England. Jamal Musiala from Bayern, mate, that would have been quality if he played.
Oh, yeah.
And then also the best, the one. And then you got the other one. And then you got the other one, Erling Haaland.
Yeah, because he's born in England.
Yeah.
He was actually born in England.
He was born in Leeds.
Yeah.
Like, why on earth did we not say to him, like, convince him early on? But
he would have easily got in the England squad, easily.
And the thing is, imagine having that.
Another one, actually, I can add is
Kane Haaland, Jesus Christ.
The England team.
Eze?
He deserves to get in there.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Too injury prone at the moment.
Yeah, and no, he doesn't. No,
well,
Eze's not good enough.
I think he's a great player myself. But
you see it, yeah, but I've seen it 3 or 4 times, and on TV, he just don't. He turns up one game, next game he's not even involved. Awful.
And also he's injury prone quite a bit as well.
He's one of the people. Eze's one of the people that will turn up. Eze's one of the people that turn up when he wants to. If he don't want to, he won't turn up. He's got that mentality.
Miley Cyrus.
He'll play if he wants to play. If he don't want to play, he won't play. Huh?
Oh, Lewis Miley.
Too young.
He needs to develop into. He's like Rico Lewis for me. He needs to develop like under 21s.
Yeah, Rico Lewis and Miley definitely in the under 21s, 100%.
And the thing is, yeah, you play for like Newcastle now. Now you realise they've got loads of money. Will you be there for their future, or will they literally splash out on someone else?
They've got to be careful of FFP, so they'll get rid of a few players that they don't need and then bring people in.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean.
So he could be one that's lost in the shuffle and gone.
Yeah, literally. I mean, you got like Elliot Anderson as well.
Elliot Anderson, we want him. We want him. Brilliant player.
Yeah.
And we were in with him three times in a row.
Yeah, that's right. When you live with him, not last season, but the season before, then he went to Bristol Rovers.
Yeah, that was one because of Mr. I'm a basher. I'm
a hater of women's football.
Yeah, Joe Barton. I'm a Barton fan. So we went there with Barton, and then we were in for the beginning of this season. And Newcastle said he's going to start for us.
Right,
liars, liars.
I'm just looking at what Stephen's put here. Are the City signing Vasquez from the American League?
From the American League. Or actually want him or try on an proven English league striker. Wait until Toney's back. Does that just make us a one-man team then? I mean, I'll give you 3, first bash at this because I will answer this afterwards. Being a Brentford fan, but I'll go to Joe this one. I'll go to Joe first.
We are Luton are in.
Is your name Joe?
Sorry, I can be Joe as well.
I'm joking, mate. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, go on, Stephen. You do it, mate.
No, you go first.
You
did say your name.
The thing is with the MLS, you don't really get good players from the MLS, though. Let's be honest.
Exactly, yeah.
You go there to retire.
Yeah, but everyone always says to me, like, "Oh, look at Amaral last season." I'm like, "Yeah, but that's one season out of like 6."
Yeah.
I Personally, for me, I do feel like you do need to go to the English league or somewhere else or someone who's had Premier League experience. Like for me, I've said Patson Daka from Leicester, I think would be good for you. I think, but then again, but the thing is,
why are you playing for Leicester? That's what I'm going to say. Why are you playing for Leicester?
The only thing is like one, he's African, so he's probably gone to AFCON. Two, and two is like if Leicester go up, they'll be in the same league as you again, sort of thing. Like, would they want to sell? It's hard. I do think like with Toney coming back, I feel like it is wanted, and it will feel like a new signing for you. Don't get me wrong, and you definitely need him. I don't think you'll go down. I think once you get him back again, you'll be back. You'll be fine. I do think you need a goalkeeper, though. I said this to you as well, Steve. I said Flecker's terrible.
Well, we definitely need
We've got Thomas Kaminsky. We've got
Flecker ain't the answer. Never has been.
Yeah. God, Steve,
we'd love Martin. Manny's favourite keeper. Martinez, we'd love him, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. So
Martinez, the MLS striker, he was linked with Luton last season or this season.
He was? Yeah. He was, yeah. But he said he's now free agent, but he's out of contract now. Miami. He said Miami because he wanted to work with Messi, but now he's out of contract and now he ain't got a club.
Yeah, he fucked it.
Who did?
It's so funny. You know what's funny? Everyone says, "Oh, they do the Messi effect," and they're like, "What about your contract?" Oh, yeah, you're out of contract.
And we're also in talks with an under-20 Ecuadorian.
Oh,
yeah. I'm trying to look at his name, but even if I looked at his name, I couldn't pronounce it. Apparently he's another one. He's another one with the main banning the next Moses Caicedo. That another one brand with that name.
Wait, another Moses Caicedo, he might be better.
Yeah. 5.5 million.
All I've seen of Caicedo is fouler. All he does is foul.
He was lucky against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, though. He was very lucky.
All I've seen him do
15.5 million. 5.5 million, and apparently there's the only clause is that the 15% of the sale is meant to come from them, and they can't afford it. So we've got people involved, the lawyers and people involved to try and sort that out and get him over here to sign a contract. That's the 15% clause of the sale that meant to be paid by them. What's
going to happen? Luna going to sign him, and Steven's going to be like, "That's the guy I was on about. That's the guy."
Yeah, of course I will. I'll be straight on again. That's him.
That's my guy. That's the Ecuadorian. The Moses Caicedo.
The new Moses Caicedo.
Yeah, it's more this guy.
No, we're not taking Raya back. Shut up. Mr. Arsenal podcast. Goodbye.
As you're saying, the American League, American League is very, very, very backward. You don't see many players coming. You don't see many players coming from there to the Premiership. You don't see many players.
Right now, that's it. You're keeping him.
Brentford going to the Premier League and clutching at straws now because there's no one else that wants to come to them.
Why don't you give Strakosha a go, man?
I know exactly. That's what I keep saying, Joe. Give Strakosha a go. Flecken ain't good enough.
Has the Colin Chaplin gone cold now? Is it? As a Chaplin gone cold?
There was talk about it. So
it's gone cold. So he goes to America
now. Great for us, Colin Chaplin.
I think America.
Apparently he wants to get.
I think America's one way to go.
Well, I think he wants to get cheap and cheer from striker.
Yeah. But what do you think, Steve?
It's really been frugal, you see. We've been like. I mean, Thomas Frankie's almost like Wenger in a way. He doesn't want to spend out loads of money.
Yeah.
Being economical and not, that seems to be the way with us. We're trying to get cheap and cheerful, and at the moment, and I don't think it's going to work out.
But the thing is, nowadays,
I don't think this guy's going to work.
But the thing is, you've got to go like really big now. Like everyone's going big. You don't want to be left behind. Like I've said this before. Like if you spend $5 million, it might be a steal and things like that. But I think now what Brentford need, they do need another striker. Like you say, not to put on Toney, but to say to him, look, it's not all about, you are our star player, but equally, we want to lay it off you sort of thing. And Mbeumo's come into it now, and hopefully he does that with Toney.
Yeah.
Because everyone's saying about when Toney's not there and Mbeumo's now showing because not Toney. But I'm like, I feel like they work together quite well.
But we're just waiting on Mbomo coming back now as a problem because he's got a long layoff with injury. So
yeah, and you got Vista.
we ain't got a clue when he's coming back.
Yeah, and you've also got
So
Vista
the injury list is mounted up big time
the
here.
thing is, everyone's
no
relying on the Toney return. I don't think he's a total answer though. I think you've got so many injuries that Toney turn back is going to make a bit of difference at the moment.
And the thing is, if Toney stays, and I'm not saying I don't think he will sell this summer, but this month, sorry, but he might have Arsenal in the mind. But it's either two minds. It's does he want the Arsenal move straight away, or is he going to be all right, I'm going to try my very best for Brentford, then go in the summer? And I think that's what you need to say to him, and to say to him, look, save us in our predicament out this season, and then we'll send you to Arsenal in the summer.
You'd want to think he'd want to stay to the summer, bang in a few goals, and get the price tag up.
Yeah,
for Brentford.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I think that's what needs to happen. I think if you're a Brent like Steve is and the other Brentford fans, I think you want to say to him, look, stay with us, raise our value up because we've stuck by you, and then if you get a good value of money, like I say, 80 sort of mil, then you can go. And I think at the end of the day, I think Brentford will be fair. Fair play. We won the transfer window.
And if he scores 10 goals from end of January to the end of the season, then he's going to go for big money.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he will. He probably will. He won't surprise me. He won't surprise me. He won't surprise me. He's in the run for Golden Boot, and he's missed half the season.
No, that's Haaland's or even. But then again, there's players. I mean, if you could stamp up enough cash, you look at 30 million. Why don't you go for the Bournemouth player?
Yeah, Slanky's just out. Yeah,
Slanky.
Yeah, good shout. Yeah,
I want Slanky.
Having one of the best seasons he's had in a Bournemouth shirt. Slanky. He's having one of the best seasons he's had in a Bournemouth shirt. Maybe it's time to cash it in and get him in now.
Or go for Adebayo from Luton.
The thing is, we don't know if Bournemouth wants to turn him. We don't know if they want to turn him.
I'll tell you what, Adebayo is one of the best players that holds up the ball. He gets kicked the shit out of week in, week out, but he still holds onto that ball and plays it off.
That's what I mean, man. Like everyone says, like Morrison's got the strength when I'm like, nah, that's Adebayo.
Yeah, let's get. What's your take on this, man? I think you want Toney, do you?
Tony will need the people around him to score goals, and you need someone to back him up.
Yeah,
but do you want him at Arsenal, Manny? Toney?
Yeah, first of all, I think let me just go to the question that you've asked first about whether or not you might be signing this fella from the American League. Don't knock people who come from the American League, and don't knock people who go to the American League and end up coming back to play in Europe, because the league is nowhere near as poor quality as people might make it out to be. A case in point, this guy who Aston Villa signed, Colombian, hungry like the wolf. He actually was signed from an MLS team. Yeah, right. So he hasn't done too badly. I think the only reason why he
ended it up, though, has he?
Step seat, please. And I think the only reason, I no. Listen,
you had a question, so I answered for you. Don't get funny with me, man, because I'm
not asking any questions. Okay?
Calm down.
I am not asking any questions. I'm trying to make it right. Thank you.
For fuck's sake.
Now,
imagine before.
It's been a combination of injuries, and obviously Watkins has been preferred as a lone striker, I would say, but he has done quite well. So if this chap Vasquez is on your radar, then I would definitely say that if he does sound like a good quality striker who can add something to your attack, especially if you are running the risk of losing Ivan Toney, and I don't think Arsenal are going to get him because we already overspent on Declan Rice, who started off well, but who has started to, decline a little bit, and he has to get back to the level he was. The only problem is he's not going to be that marauding box-to-box midfielder. He's more of a defensive midfielder who can provide that link and sort of provide some impetus from the back. But we've overspent on Declan Rice. We've overspent on Kai Havertz. And I don't know how much money we're getting in the transfer window, but I can bet you right now we're not going to overspend to get Ivan Toney. It could very well be that Chelsea might end up getting him. Maybe they would have gone in for him if Nkunku had been out for a longer time. But now that he's back, Chelsea have some more striking options.
Well, allegedly, they made a bid of 115 million for Toney, and I don't know when it was. This is allegedly a rumour. I don't know if it's true, but apparently we knocked it back. So it obviously shows that we want to keep him and keep him to the end of the season to keep us, away from this danger area that we're slipping, rapidly towards.
I completely agree. I would agree with that. And, there certainly isn't anything wrong in signing a guy who can, add to your squad, because if he is very well rated, I mean, there's no reason why you shouldn't go for him. So I think that would be something to look into. So I don't necessarily agree with this idea of trying to find a proven English striker, because the thing about looking for that is that sometimes, trying to find someone who'd be perfect for a team would be like trying to look for a needle in a haystack. And if you want a proven English striker, you've got a proven striker who's played for England in the form of James Vardy, who's still with Leicester, coming near to the end of his career, though, so maybe he wouldn't be an option. And so if you want that proven striker, where would you look? So it wouldn't be a bad idea to cast your eyes a little bit, to cast your net a little bit wider, as it were. And I think I don't even know when Toney will be coming back, and there's always going to be a chance that maybe someone else could break down with an injury, because in addition to Toney, you've also lost Mbeumo, and he's not going to be playing in the AFCON, by the way. So you're going to need some striking,
He's not in the AFCON either. He's injured, so he's not playing in that.
Exactly. So if I were you, I wouldn't beat around the bush when it comes to trying to get a new striker. And if Vasquez is certainly, someone you might be interested in, and you think he's good quality, and you've seen how well he can play, why not try him? You can't do any worse. Toney should be back in January anyway, and at least if you got him and Vasquez until Mbeumo comes back, then you'll have some people who can potentially score you some goals. What I'm saying is, don't look a gift horse in its mouth.
Well, as I've said before, Manny, beggars can't be choosers. You got to. This is all we can go for. We're not in the big leagues here with the big money, like your team or United or City, or Chelsea, or whatever. We're not in that big league, so we can't go for these, big name players. So we've got to settle for these type of players. And I haven't seen a lot of him apparently, but apparently he could have played in the World Cup allegedly for America. He was on the roster, and he could have actually played. So he just about missed out. So maybe he's not that bad a player, and we don't know. And he's got to be given a chance, because he's not Premier proven. So we've got to, stick him in and see what he can do, I suppose. But because apparently, we're in negotiations for him. Apparently, they are ongoing.
But the thing is, how long do you give him though? Like, you need him now. You can't just say to him okay, you're settled in, things like that. You look at the players you've got in the Premier League. Maybe someone like Brozier from Chelsea, Martial from Man U. Maybe try and sniff around them. Just go for players that are Premier League proven. Yeah. You need the players for now. You can't literally say to him okay, mate, give you time, everything else. But you kind of need them now. They're there for squad, but you need them to start firing.
Yeah.
And like I say, Brozier. I mean, even Nketiah, but with Nketiah, Arsenal probably say if you want Nketiah, we'll get Toney. They're going to be like that. So then either way, you need another striker.
Yeah, you need to hit the ground running and score goals straight away.
Yeah, exactly. You need to hit the ground running.
Just straight away, banging goals.
Yeah, and
we're not going to take an Arsenal reject like Nketiah. Thank you. We don't want him. No.
I don't think anyone wants it. If Nketiah gets sold, I'll be very, very surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't get why they get. I don't get why they Arsenal. I don't get why Arsenal offer him a contract, man. They should have just got rid of him soon as.
Well, he's earning money under false pretenses.
They must have seen something we don't. They must have seen something we don't.
Yeah, but the guy's asked tongue in cheek to be number 14. Bro, you're not Thierry Henry. Who are you? You're a fraud.
Yeah, that's disgusting. They give him Henry's shirt. I really think that is bad. That's tainted his name.
He gets game time though.
Yeah, but
why?
I know it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes here, 10 minutes there.
Yeah, that was gonna say.
He's still getting on the pitch. Yeah,
but surely you've got Surely you got
One
a young
time I
lad.
seen him do anything was that hat trick. What that hat trick against? Where was it? Who was it against the hat trick?
You still live off that.
Sheffield United.
Sheffield United. Yeah. Sheffield United.
Stephen can get a hat trick against Sheffield United.
Oh, shut up.
But the thing is, Joe, they kept Nketiah and they sold a top scorer in Balogun.
Yeah. Balogun's miles better than him. Why didn't he get a go? Balogun should have.
The thing is, everyone says to me, like, oh, yeah, but Balogun's rubbish. Saw me against Brentford. I'm like, yeah, but that's first game of the season. You've thrown him in the deep end because Aubameyang and Lacazette had COVID, and you've thrown him in the deep end against Brentford, who just got up from the promoted.
Out position, Balogun.
Like, oh, you develop him, man.
Arteta ruins them all. He ruins all these players, unfortunately.
I still think he's ruined Saka. I still think that.
Yeah, so do I. He's burnt him out. He's burnt out.
Saka needs rest and to recuperate properly. Saka does.
Like, the thing is, watching him play against Liverpool in the FA Cup, and I'm like, why are you not playing someone like Nelson or any youngster there?
Yeah.
Give them a go.
What other good youngsters have you got, man, for Arsenal? There's got to be some other coming through.
I know there was a youngster who is like a centre mid, Ethan Nwaneri. I think he came on.
Nwaneri.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we've got, the likes of Kozia, Dewberry, and quite a few others whose names aren't really coming to me right now. The problem is they're not being, given too many chances. And that's the more frustrating thing, because you'd think that the cup games would be an opportunity to blood a few of these youngsters. I'm not saying actually field, an under-21 or even an under-18 side completely, but at least have a sprinkling of experience, blood some of these young players in. And yet, you saw the way we went out to West Ham with something resembling a near first team. Could the youngsters have been any worse? And what exactly is Arteta doing? And some of these fans are just going to say, well, youngsters have to earn the right to play. But there is a caveat to that. Unless you give them their chances, they're not really going to play. And last season, he gave Nwaneri his chance specifically because he wanted to have the record for the youngest ever Premiership player, which was taken from Harvey Elliott in the process. But take a look at Harvey Elliott. I mean, he got that record while he was Fulham. He's gone on to bigger and better things at Liverpool, Premiership and Champions League winner. What will Nwaneri do? Maybe he's got to leave Arsenal. Another gem leaving us, just like Serge Gnabry, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Emiliano Martinez. They leave Arsenal and go on to achieve better and better things. Thank you very much, Arteta.
Go for Panos, no one.
Panos is a strange case because he was signed actually, I think, during the Wenger years, if I'm not wrong. So Arteta didn't really have too much, with him. And he made a few appearances and did well in a few games, but apparently wasn't trusted very much. Went on loan to Germany and then ended up signing for Stuttgart. And then coming back to West Ham. I told you, Mr. B, if I were Mavropanos, I would have celebrated like hell. But I think you did say that maybe we didn't know the whole circumstances. But still, you're playing for your new team. You score a goal to put them ahead. You got to celebrate. I don't necessarily mean doing a full Adebayor and going all the way to the end of the pitch. But sometimes if the fans are taking the mickey out of you and abusing you, it's perfectly justified. I would have done exactly the same thing. But at least, pump your fist in the air and celebrate. And Theo Walcott should have done that last season too, because we casted him aside without letting him have his 400th appearance with us. But back to your question about the young players. Yes, we do have some young players, but they're not being given their chances because Arteta's not taking the cup seriously. And will he afford to blood some of these youngsters when we play Liverpool this weekend? I don't know. But that is
Patino, by the way. Where's he now? Charlie Patino.
Swansea.
Some talk,
Swansea.
Thank you, Joe.
Sorry.
No. Thank you for answering that question. But I mean, you know a lot more about Patino than I do. To be frank.
He was touted his next big thing, wasn't he?
I think he's signed for Arsenal.
Was it against us?
I think he's signed for Arsenal.
It's only because I was at Ipswich Swansea and I saw him walking past me. That's how I know.
Yeah,
I think he's at Luton from 9, and then Arsenal signed him at 10 years old.
Oh yeah, it was Luton. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 9 years old or 10 years old. Arsenal signed him.
True.
No one Luton.
Feel like Jack Wilshere.
No,
he's 13. He was
Stick with
13.
We'll stick with Charlie. Stephen, we'll stick with Charlie Patino, thank you.
Yeah, Charlie Patino, Jack Wilshere, Arsenal poached for us.
Not Jack Wilshere. That's a swear word.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I reckon big clubs like the Chelseas, the Arsenals, the Man United, the Man City should blood these young players because I swear they're hungry. They want to get the bit between their teeth and try and stake a claim for substitute appearances or even the first team. They want to grab that by the horns. They really want to impress.
I hope we do.
If they were to give them a chance.
I hope we do play our youngsters in the.
If they were to give them the chance, maybe you uncover someone who could save your season. Maybe you uncover someone who could be your future. Until you play them, you just don't know.
Like I like Alfie Gilchrist. Like he came against Palace and Luton, but like
yes, he did. Yeah,
he did. But like I wanted him to play a bit longer. I didn't want it to be like we had to bring him on because we were literally hanging on by the game. I wanted us to bring him on because we wanted to bring him on. But I hope he plays against Preston, and I hope Castledine does as well. Well, all the youngsters. Like
all these youngsters, I mean, if they give it a chance, you don't know who you're going to uncover. I mean, if they play in the under 21s, I mean, the under 21s is I mean, yeah, it's a league, but it's not what they want to play. They want to be mixing it with the big boys.
And also
Liverpool and Chelsea, because Liverpool, I mean, was it 8 players they played in the Champions League last one in the Europa League? 8 youth team players in the last Europa League game. I think it's 8 because they're already qualified. They're already top. I mean, they played 8, that I can recall.
Yeah.
And all the big names were on the bench, but they didn't need them, obviously.
You need somebody better than Jackson, didn't you? He's bad.
Oh. Yeah, but the thing is...
I still think he's young and I think Jackson's still young and needs time. But yeah, blood these young players. Give them a go. See if you can uncover a gem. See if you can actually salvage something from them. Give them a chance because, I mean, you know, if you want to sell them, you're not going to get money for them until you play them. Once you play them, you never know what you're going to uncover.
And the thing is, Mr. Bowley, you spend a billion.
Makes you want to scream, doesn't he? Scream.
Oh, it's just one of those, man. Like, I mean, the thing is, if we play our youngsters and we lose to Preston, I don't care as long as we have the youngsters playing. That's all good for me.
Well, then Pochettino can have a look at these young players and see which ones he thinks that could actually make an impact.
Yeah,
just like Arsenal, just like Man City, just like Liverpool.
I mean, at this moment, City's probably the best one with the youth players. Like, look at Foden. You know, like he came from Stockport, but you know he gave him time. Like Pep didn't rush him in, and you had the media saying, "Oh, when you're going to play him?" And Pep said, "I will play him when he's ready."
And he did.
Yeah. Look at him now, shining. Like, don't get me wrong. Like people say, "Oh, what's De Bruyne going to be like when he's?" I think De Bruyne will be playing, but I don't think he'll be that Foden role. I think Foden will be doing all the work. And I think De Bruyne might sit there with Rodri. I think because
I think that'd be more than let Rodri let Foden do all the running, and let Devin De Bruyne do all the specialist set pieces.
Yeah, and also like he's got.
Do you think Gallagher's overrated?
Slightly, but not majorly.
No, but the thing is, I feel like he's been our best player this season.
Do you think he's worthy, captain? Do you think he's worthy of the captaincy?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
There's a lot of people. I was speaking to a lot of Chelsea fans at the Luton game saying we weren't sure if he was worth that. We're thinking Silva, maybe.
No, Thiago Silva did offer it, but he refused it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because he said
Chelsea fans didn't know that.
No, because he said, "What's the point of giving it to me when I'm like 39 for a short term? Then you should go for someone like Gallagher for the long term."
Good point, but he's still quality.
He is.
Against us, he looked great.
And also, the thing is, Gallagher's been our best player this season, and we're selling him. And yet we've got Caicedo and Enzo. Like
I thought Sterling myself being one of your better players.
No.
Palmer, definitely Palmer.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. And also,
Gallagher's impressed me. But after the first 2 games where he didn't do nothing, he's been putting in a shift. He does look like a accomplished player now.
Yeah. And he's got the passion, like he runs forward, like he wants it, and that's the thing. Like, and the thing is as well, I know it's like 2 games in.
Us, on that.
Yeah, and I know it's 2 games in and things like that, but if he carries it on with this form, Madueke looks a good player.
Yeah, all right.
Oh yeah, that makes
I rate that in Kunku as well.
He looks good. That shot he done against us, ouch.
Yeah, and the thing is, that's the thing with Madueke. Like the thing is, I worried about him because when Poch got announced, I was like, "Oh shit!" Sorry for swearing.
That's fine, mate. Right.
He has a bad relationship with Poch because obviously from Tottenham, and I'm like, "Oh no!" If Madueke goes, and the thing is as well, like he's been injured and things like that. And the last 2 games, he's been going in, and he's taking it, and I'm like, you know what? I'd actually have him palming that 10 role, Mudryk, and then I'm putting Cuckoo up front, and I think for me that's sorted.
Yeah,
you know. Because I think Palmer's attributes, the way he controls that play, what he did against like Luton and things, that for me is like a number 10 sort of would do rather than a right winger.
Yeah.
I think with the right winger, you need a lot of pace. Like wingers nowadays, you need a lot of pace. You can't have someone literally hold the ball up and dribble, things like that nowadays. You just need pace.
Yeah. Also, going back to this though,
the only problem is
sorry, mate.
I was just saying the only problem you've got is a striker.
Yeah, but I'll play Cuckoo there.
Oh, you're on about Chelsea? Yeah.
I'll play Cuckoo there.
Yeah, you and Chelsea, both of you. Well, all 3 of you, really.
Exactly. Yeah. But getting back to this, I'm just wondering. Also, moving away from this slightly, do you think Frank is under pressure?
No.
I don't think so just yet.
I think at the end of the day, I'm not saying it badly towards Brentford. Like, you look where you've come from, like, you know, the rise you've had. And I think at the end of the day, I think what you would do, I think if Thomas Frank feels like he's not able to do as much as he can, he would say to Brentford, look, I don't think I can do what I can. And they were like, you know what, Thomas Frank, fair play to you. You got us in the Prem. You leave when you want to leave.
Yeah, he's more the man that will, he's more the man that we hold his cards up and go, look, I don't think there's any more I can do Brentford. I agree with Joe totally. He's one of the people that will say, yeah,
for me,
I've done all I can.
For me, he's unsackable.
Yeah. What he's done for you is the right, like you said, the rise that you've had with him at the helm, and some of the performances you've had under him are memorable.
Absolutely.
So I think he's one of the people. I think he's one of the people that go, you know what? Yeah, my time's up. I've done what I can with Brentford. I don't think the board will sack him. I totally agree with that. I think he's the one that will walk instead of being sacked.
Or let his contract go down.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose the thing is, who would we get to replace him is the problem.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
that's the thing. There's no one there at the moment. So you're all right at the moment. It's when he does go, you've got to worry.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you're going to a scenario who's sacked today, say you sacked today, just for a hypothetical, who's there?
Thumbnail.
Yeah, who's there? Joe, for you as well. Who's there? If you're the second manager tomorrow, I knew you. Second manager tomorrow. Who's there?
The thing is, I hate saying this. But the thing is, I hate saying this, but like, I feel like McKenna would be really good for Brentford.
For Ipswich?
Yeah. Young team for Brentford, and like he would do wonders for you. I really think he would. And the thing is, you can go into like a back 3 or a back 4 and like develop that way. And I think McKenna,
he'd be great for Brentford. Yeah.
How about Steve Cooper?
Actually, that's not a bad show over, really.
That's not a bad show as well. I think
that's not a bad show over.
Get the gremlin in, the gargoyle in
McKenna, I think if Frank was to go tomorrow, McKenna would be a great shout.
Yeah. And I'm not being biased. I just don't think McKenna would be good.
No. I've said McKenna's done wonders at Ipswich. I mean, what he's done, and since he's come in, he's shaped them up, got the players that he wanted in the right roles, and it's just worked.
Yeah, and the thing is,
I'm surprised how he didn't win League One is beyond me.
Yeah, but the thing is, as well with Brentford,
he's too good for that.
You're missing Rico Henry massively.
Oh yeah.
Well, I know it.
A quality player.
Like he's a baller. Like
yeah, he's class. Yeah.
As soon as he got injured, I was like, "Who do you have as backup?" Like I know you got Hickey, but like Hickey's not Rico Henry. Like
he's a good player, but he's no Rico Henry.
Yeah, exactly. That's the main.
We've had Aya there. We've had plenty of others. We've got Godos in the sort of that role at the moment.
You've tried everything in there, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know, it's not working. You know.
And you might need
tried everything. I feel for Brentford. They've tried everything in that position to fill the void, and it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
It's worked sometimes. Exactly, okay, they put the shift, but when it doesn't go for them and there's shifts and they're tired, it doesn't work for Brentford. So yeah, they're missing him badly.
But the thing is, you probably want a proper like left back or left wing back to play in that position. Then someone like, no offense to Golos or anything, but it's where he's like a midfielder.
Yeah,
like,
Frank, when we look at that.
Yeah, maybe in January. Maybe
I mean, Golos has done all right. He's done okay, but he's not.
We need a right back because obviously our right back is going to the African Nations Cup. Even though he's on loan, we still need a right back.
True, yeah.
We still need one. Yeah, but Brentford, I think you need left wing back maybe for you. Striker definitely. Arsenal striker is got to be number one on the agenda. Chelsea. Get rid of half your players because they're all not performing. Enzo looks awful when he came on.
No. Steven's not wrong though. That's the thing. Steven's not wrong.
Enzo looks awful when he came on against us.
Yeah. It looks like a skunk.
You spent loads of money on all these players.
What is that hair? What is that hairstyle?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah. I was just like, so you're telling me you got him to dye his hair?
Yeah, that's going to make him a great player. Yeah, you stand out more shit than you did.
Yeah. That's what I mean, man.
What do you think of Mudryk, by the way, Joe? Do you rate Mudryk?
There is potential. There is potential.
I said nothing to say anything.
There's more potential than we've had, like compared to like Enzo.
Okay, yeah, all right, fair enough. I'll give
that one. No, but the thing is with Mudryk, though, like the thing is with him, like he is one of them players. When you give him the ball, like loads of players or teams would go 2-on-1 against him, and he can't do that. And the thing is, what we need an actual left back, not Levi Colwill. I love him to bits, but you need an actual left back to like overlap him and like basically like a tag team sort of thing. Like he overlaps.
He do it alone.
Like he can't do it on his own. No, absolutely not. And the thing is as well, you got to feel for the guy as well. Like I know people say this is an excuse, but I feel like at the end of the day, if this happened to anyone, it is sad. Obviously with the Ukraine, with the Russia and everything, it takes a lot out of him.
Do you think he needs to bulk up a little bit, have a bit more strength on him? Because he seems a little bit light.
Yeah, I do.
He's a speed merchant. He's got pace, but
but space. You also need a bit of strength for that pace because he seems to get pushed off the ball quite easy.
Yeah, exactly. But then every time he gets the ball, he does try and get it back. But like you say, it's his strength. That's it, though. That's the thing.
It's not a bad thing. It's just like it's like we all remember the Ronaldo days when he first came to Ronaldo when he played for Man City the first time he was there. He was pushed off the ball. He was kicked. He was fouled. He was everything because he had nothing about him. Following season, he bulked up. He was a bit better. Second season, more better. Third season, the best he's ever been.
Yeah.
Because he bulked up through stages. It worked.
Yeah. Anyway,
obviously, Mudryk's getting fouled or kicked around, but he does seem to get pushed off the ball fairly easy.
Yeah, that's
fairly easy. Not all the time, but fairly easy.
I do agree on that. Yeah.
Anyway, lads, I think we've exhausted all that, and obviously we've been going quite a while on here now. I think it's over an hour or so we've been on here. So
that says an hour and 50 minutes or so.
45 on one, yeah.
We're sort of going through sort of what everyone wants with their teams, a prediction of whatever the rest of the season and what we think's going to happen.
It's easy. I just want 17th.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I want.
I just want to stay up.
Yeah, 17. 17 by goal difference will do me. 17 by goal difference will do me. By one goal.
We just want to get a win from somewhere. That's what we want. We just want to get some points, dropping not a bloody stone, that's what we want,
I kind of want Potts to play players in their actual positions, but there you go.
That's actually a good one, though. That is actually a good one, though.
Especially Levi Colwill at left back. Like, I like the guy to bits, but he's a centre back, not a left back.
Yeah, he didn't look too confident against us, really. He was backing off.
Well, that's the thing. That's what he does, though, when he's a left back. He literally lets the right mid or right wing backs literally have their time. And I'm like, no, go into him.
Parker's having fun with him. Parker's having fun with him.
Literally, he was toying with him.
He's so good on the ball, though, Barkley. I mean, he just sits there with the ball at his feet and they won't come to him. He can pick a pass then.
Yeah. So mate, the fact you got him on a freeze, like for me, that's a bargain on the season.
Oh yeah, well, I should have done. And the fact now that he's actually said that he's loving life at Luton and enjoying his football again. When someone says they're enjoying their football again, that's a credit.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, when you got someone like Rob Edwards and things like that, he's like, for me, he's like another Klopp in a way, because he's like, he always puts his arm around you and then says things like to cheer you up and things like that, and then go out again. Like for instance, I don't think
he's always and every day he's on the phone to Lockyer every day. Every day.
That's what I mean, man.
He's in emotions wears them on his sleeve, doesn't he, Edwards?
Yeah.
So,
I think
he's so emotional, crying.
I think he's one of the managers that his door's always open. If you need to speak to him, his door's there. It's open for you to call him. I think he's one of the managers that the players are his family.
But the thing is, I think I'm not saying it badly on him, but like, let's say, for instance, Lockyer does retire, and I feel for him, I really do. But I feel like there will be a coaching role there. I think there's no way.
Edwards will have something in place. He's not going to be playing again.
And I think we should retire the number 4 shirt.
Yeah. Edwards for me will say to him, look, you can be one of another assistants, and he'll be so good it'll be so good for the dressing room.
Yeah, he'll be there. Yeah, of course he will. And as soon as he's able to come to games again, he'll be in the crowd with us.
He'll be in the crowd, and then he'll be in the tunnel to rally the players up. He'll be there.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants around that club. He's more than welcome, and he knows that.
Yeah,
even though he's Welsh.
And I do agree. I think that's how, see, Birmingham, that's how you retire players' number. You don't do Jude Bellingham's number.
No. I know he's done before, and we can use it again. But he's for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
He didn't get to celebrate with us at Wembley because he collapsed, and he had a cardiac arrest at Bournemouth. That two in 6 months, or one cardiac arrest in 6 months, and one falling out of consciousness on Wembley. That's enough to retire a shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, what about you, Manny? What do you want to see happen for Arsenal? Do you think they're going to win anything this season or not?
We're not going to win anything. It's a question of whether we can at least try and gain some sort of a smidgen of respect from this season. But top 4 will probably be our aim for now. Forget about the Champions League, even if we do manage to beat Porto, which I don't think we will, given the way we've been playing recently. The next team we face in the quarterfinals will smoke us all ways to Sunday. I do not see us getting anything from the FA Cup. If there is one thing I would like, it's for Mikel Arteta to be sacked because results have been so poor. And I'm going to say right now that wanting change to take place for the better doesn't make me any less of a fan. It just means that some people like us can see a lot of the negative things that have been here for quite some time, and even more which are cropping up right now. And we're just thinking that, enough is enough. This experiment has gone on for too long. And people may say, well, we finished second last season, but anyone with any sense will know that was just a freak show, an anomaly. And this season we have been found out. And it's very easy to have this whole I'm all right, Jack attitude and say we're still, in the top 4. We were top, by the way, number 1. But then in the matter of 2 games, our Christmas and New Year were ruined, and we are now 4th. So if that can happen over the course
down again, like the Christmas tree with a star coming down.
Yep, last Christmas we were top of the league, but by the end of May we'd thrown it away. This year there will be more tears as we end up without the title.
Yay!
George Michael.
Yeah, rest in peace, George Michael. Passed away on Christmas Day, of course, a few years ago. Gone but never forgotten. Nobody could do it better. And I think I'll probably end this by talking about your teams. Brentford should be fine. I think you will end up finishing maybe 14th or 15th, perhaps. You will address the problem of goals. You will address the goal problem once you get your striker. I do hope Luton can continue to show some fight and finish 17th by the skin of your teeth, but you've got to be aware of the teams around you. And as for Chelsea, well, with the likes of Nkunku starting to cook and a few others also ready to come in, if you can just get a few injured players back, you could end up finishing in the European places. But let's see you try and win the League Cup, get back into Europe that way, and maybe that can give Pochettino a little wiggle room for next season.
I hope so, man. I do. I hope so. I can't be asked of going through the stage of thinking we sack managers for success. Like, this is the way. It's not now. Like, it's not.
They'll do a Watford.
Yeah, because you've sacked 3 managers over the course of one season, Tuchel, Potter, and Lampard. You don't want to do that again.
But the thing is, it's when the new owner said, "Oh, we're going to back the project. We do this," but then it's like a month later we sat Tuchel, and I'm like, "Well, that's the project gone then."
That's the project gone.
Yeah,
and whoever inherits the same team, whoever comes in.
I thought it was weird when they sacked him. I thought it was well weird when they sacked him. I thought it was well weird.
Yeah, that's the only thing, isn't it?
It was all that
because inherits the same team.
It's because it's because Bowley wanted to sign Ronaldo, and Tuchel basically said no because he wouldn't fit in formation, which is right.
Really?
It's got a point.
Yeah.
But, there you go. And also, like I say, Manny, like with Arsenal, I hope you do come around the corner. I really do. Like, I think, yes, okay, you kind of had like a bad spell at the moment, but you'd rather have a bad spell now than come towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I'll say that for Bev as well. Yeah, you go for a bad spell, but yeah, it's better to do this than the end of the season because the end of the season there'll be teams fighting for points left, right, and centre, trying to get wins here and there and everywhere, and then you'll be dragged straight into it. At the moment, you are in the relegation fight. You know that as well as I do. But then, like we said, you get Toney back, you get a striker, you get a few players here and there that Frank can tinker with. You may do get away with it and finish like the 14th or 13th that Manny said. But at the moment, you're in it with us. You know, we're in. We see you in our mirror, just above us, along with Everton there as well. Everton are like this. They're driving across both lanes at the moment. So, with the points,
you keep reminding me, mate. You know,
with one point they got over us. With 1 point they got over us.
Give Everton another point.
Behind you. Oh no, it isn't. Oh yes, he is. Yeah, all right.
Give Everton another points deduction.
Yeah. Chelsea, on the other hand, yeah, I agree. The only way you're going to get Europe is the League Cup. Yeah, maybe it's time to bed in some players that on the fringes, see what they've got, see if they can make the grade up, and give Pochettino another outlet. Yeah, don't let him bed himself in because he's only got his feet under the table now. He's just starting to get the Chelsea way of thinking, and he should get it right. And Arsenal, yeah, best place for you, top 4, and that'll be that, and then start rebuilding again for next season.
Yeah.
Right then,
simple as that. We all know what we want from our clubs. It's just about the team,
well,
the actual people behind the team doing it.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, we should shout out the socials now. Anyway, you first, Manny. Take it away, man.
Yeah, first of all, thanks a lot, Mr. B, for having me on, and Happy New Year to you, the panel, and everyone who's joined in the chat. And you want to catch me on Instagram and Threads, it's Manny Thangadorai 1981. Del Boy, what's the crack? What's the bleeding story? Good to be on your show last night. I'm glad to see you back on the YouTube stratosphere, as it were. And if you want to catch me on Twitter, ranting and raving about all things Arsenal and getting into spirited debates with these Arteta sexuals, it's Thangadorai 1981. That's my surname in my year of birth. As once again, big up to Mr. B, big up to Del Boy Gunner TV, Oris Talks Football, Coach's Corner, Tony Claude Gunner TV, Danny AFC TV, Northside London, Up the Cherries in all departments, AFC Talk Show TV, and also the Southern Gooner, Matt Odom, and just several other channels that I can't really name at the moment because I am exhausted, my brain is fried, but hoping to come back on these channels once again and pick up where I sort of left off for a bit. And once again, hopefully this year there'll be a lot more content created and there'll be a lot more good things happening for all of us in the YouTube community. And until then, all I can say is enjoy this upcoming year and make sure you do what you've set out to do. Enjoy yourself wherever you can and don't do anything that the panelists and I wouldn't do. But for now, I'm going to have to split because I am tired. Farewell to thee. Goodbye. God bless every one of you. Cheers.
Cheers, my friend. Have a good one. Cheers, Manny. Take care, mate. And go to this guy's first time on the channel and on the stream, Joe.
Hey, yeah. Well, what can I say? For the first 2 hours on Steve's channel, I've really enjoyed myself. I enjoyed the panel. I enjoyed Steve as a host and everything else. I enjoyed everyone in the chat, and hopefully I'll do more of these this coming year. That is my New Year's resolution. So I'm halfway. I'm 1/4 of the way there, sort of. But yeah, no. Appreciate everyone having me on. And yeah, like you say, what Manny says as well, or the channels he's mentioned. Big shout out to them. Big shout out to everyone on there. My YouTube is Joe Tier as well. Please subscribe to me as much as I can. I want to try and do more videos, but
it's get your own channel, Joe. Let's have your own channel, man.
I have got my own channel. It's Joe Tier on there, so it's
is it right?
Yeah, he's got the channel. Yes,
yes. I'll subscribe to Steve as well and everybody else. So yeah, thank you very much for having me on.
No worries, man. You're welcome on any time, Joe. Anytime, man.
Cheers, man.
Anytime.
And then the one
who cares, Anyway, let's go to our other final guest, Stephen.
The one, the only, Stephen.
Yeah. I'll say it again. Happy New Year to everyone in the chat and in the panel. I am speaking with Ty and Hannah about starting my channel up again. What I'm going to try and do is have a special co-host with me for the first couple of months, and hopefully then go on my own and do my own little rant on my own. But obviously, I'm going to speak to Steve, Joe, and other people about joining me for that when I get my chat up and run, my YouTube up and running again. Yeah, you can find me at Stepsy Boy on Instagram, Stepsy Boy 82 on Insta, on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Too many names. Elon Musk gets his pies in every pie, doesn't he? And you can find me on Stephen Stepsy on Facebook. I'd like to shout out, obviously, Hanno. He's been a brilliant servant for me this year. Steve, another brilliant servant this year. T-Boys TV, another brilliant person for me this year. Joe, Manny, everyone that I've met this year, it's been a pleasure. And bring on 2024, and let's have a good one.
Yeah, cheers, man. Well said. Well said, Stephen. I'll just do this as well quickly before we go as well.
Yeah, huge.
Also, the prostate cancer, please, if you haven't done it already, please click on that and donate what you can and get yourself checked, because thousands, millions of men die of this every year. It's a serious thing. It's cancer. So please, please do check yourself out and make sure your friends and family, whatever, your dads, your friends, whatever, get yourself checked and make sure, you have a safe and healthy new year.
It's January. We know things are tight after Christmas, but anything you can donate for this cause, because obviously Steve knows more about it than I do. And and like you said, there's millions that die from it yearly. We've got to try and find a cure. And any money you can donate would just be much appreciated. I feel for Steve and his family, and I support them all the way with this. And when his dad's in remission, he's going to get speedy recovery. He's going to live longer and prosper this year as well. I thoroughly believe that. And just anything you can donate, just dig in your pockets. If you've got any loose change, put it in a tin if you see it. Put it in the bank and donate online. Whatever you can do, just anything for this charity or any charity you got out there. Dig in your pockets and find one.
Absolutely.
Do you want to mention the charity, Stephen, or Joe? Do you want to mention any charities?
Just mine. Anything that goes towards muscular dystrophy UK. They have lots of different. There's lots of different types of it. There's obviously the young people that get it die very young, and I feel for them people, and I have my utmost sympathy for them families. All the respect for them families. My mum had a slight form of muscular dystrophy called metonic dystrophy. It's where the muscles just disintegrate. They just get weaker and disintegrate, and it affects your mobility as well as your speech and other starts. So, and she died 2008. So 15 years this year. So best wishes to her up there, having a good time with everyone else who's lost a member. But yeah, muscular dystrophy UK doing great things. If anybody relatives have got it, get yourself checked as well, because it can be hereditary. Or if not, 2024. Hope all your families stay safe and you have a great new year.
Yeah, well said, buddy. Well said. You, Joe, you got anything any charities you want to share out, man?
Just mainly like Calm and everything else, and was like the thing about homeless as well, people around this Christmas time. always lift your head up. Don't put your head down. You will get somewhere. You will find a home. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't help with the government doing, raising everything up and everything else. But always put your head up, chin up. You got your loved ones and things like that. And if you don't, you've obviously got your friends and family. But yeah, like you say, Steve, you mentioned as well. You will never beg things like that if things mean something to you. And please, obviously, donate and everything else. And yeah, that would mean everything to me as well.
Yeah, nice one, fella. So that's great. I hope lots of people have watched this today. We've had a few in the live chat, which is great. And please, obviously, smash the likes and sub if you're new, and follow me down there. As you see, the clicker down there.
Yep.
Mr. B for Life 182 on Insta. There you go. There's the lads here pointing down there. They're showing you there. So everyone follow me on that, and thanks for all your support over last year. And obviously, you can keep supporting me this new year as well. That'd be great. I went down from 84 to 83 subs for some reason. I don't know who stopped following me, but
Hater.
You're missing out. So,
yeah, missing out. Yeah,
definitely.
Bar humbug.
Yeah,
bar humbug. Yeah, but
I think their 2024 is a bad one.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, I second that. Yeah. Anyway, from everyone, from all the lads here, from Manny to Joe to Stephen and the other people that have contributed and been in the live chat, wish you a safe new year. And obviously, come and follow me again for my next stream, which will be obviously coming up FA Cup matches against, got to play Wolves. Wolves again. Well, that's to come, and other things be on other streams, other people's streams. So, anyway, thank you everyone, and it's farewell for now.
Up the town.
Bye, everyone.